Can you close that door you're on? Can hurt. I'm gonna make something nice for you, 'cause you deserve it.
Cool. Spring is springing.
Yep. You ready to get started?
Sure, man. Yeah.
Cool. So, who are you?
Who am I? I love that you started this. What? It's so big, you know what I mean? You spent a whole interview answering that question. But I suppose I'll start with my name. My name is Sean Golightly. It was the name that was given to me. I did not like it at first. I found that PE teachers especially had a propensity to make fun of the name Golightly, usually when you were like asking to go to the bathroom or something like that. So it took some getting used to. But yeah, that is my name. It's a good one. It's served me thus far.
Yeah, I think it, I don't know why. It's just like, seems like a really headliner type of thing. To me at least.
Fingers crossed, right?
Where are you from?
So I was born down in Phoenix, Valley. My family lived there for a lot of years. Both my sister and I were born there. But we moved when I was pretty young. I did some growing up in a town in San Diego County. Mm-hmm. It's a town called Poway. And yeah, I did most of my childhood growing up there. It was a good town. It was a good place to be. Had a decent school. I started playing music there. I started walking around hills there. And I moved back to Flagstaff almost 10 years ago. Well, not back to Flagstaff. That's the wrong way to say. But I moved to Flagstaff 10 years ago, about. And I did this after some traveling around and trying to finish a degree here at the school. I did that and really had such a good time with the people I met here that I decided to stay. Go and feel what you must feel. Don't matter if you should cry. Or drive out to Big Sky one night by headlight. Don't bother saying goodbye. It's a long, dark wilderness, stretches on inside. Take your time, but remember I'll be waiting on the other side. Go and feel what you must feel. I'll just be minding my own. Sat by the window, whistling a few notes, working on tears of my own. It's a long, dark wilderness. We must go alone. Only sometimes remember I'll be waiting on the other side. It's a long, dark wilderness, stretches on inside. Only sometimes remember I'll be waiting on the other side.
You said you started playing music back in the San Diego area?
Yeah.
County?
Yeah. So, how'd it go? Well, like, my dad played guitar. right? So he would sometimes, sing to us when we were kids and things like that. I always liked that. And then I think it was like, I don't know, sometime when I was a kid, we went and saw School of Rock, and I was like, that's really cool. I want to do that. I think I was like 10. So I asked my parents for a bass guitar. I don't know why. I decided that that's what I wanted to play. And they got me one. It was funny, actually. The first one they got me, I was so excited about it. It was like Christmas. It was like the thing I got for Christmas. You know what I mean? It was this bass guitar. And I was so excited. I like put the strap on, and I hung it on me, and I was like, yes, and just kind of holding it by the neck, like first time I've ever held a bass guitar, and the strap button snaps off. The guitar goes swinging down by the bass, and just like gets this big old chip in the back, like right as it comes off.
Yeah. And
it was so funny. It was like, I mean, obviously I was, it sucked, but I was like, oh shit, as soon as you get something you love, you don't know how to handle it.
Stuff happens.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was its way of telling me that, it was like, well, you might be excited about it, but excitement only takes you so far. You gotta learn what you're doing, right?
Yeah. Exactly. When did you start writing your own music?
That would have been, probably like 14. So I started playing bass. We went to a church. There was a band at the church. They needed a bass player, so I pretty much started playing with them like right away. I was this little 10-year-old and this like giant bass, and it was a bass guitar, not a stand-up. That would have been a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was I would have started playing in the church there, and then started my own bands like in like middle and high school and things like that. Really, really bad bands. And but you do what you do in that time. And yeah, I guess I would have been 14 when I was in like my high school band. I started writing things.
Nice. Do you remember the first song you wrote?
Yeah. It was a really bad fuck you to George Bush. Yeah. And he was president at the time, and I didn't know shit about politics, but like I just was pretty certain I didn't like that guy. So it was this like, it was kind of this I was practicing with like a protest song basically, but it was written, I mean, if I think about it now, I think it was written so terribly in this sort of like freshman philosopher kind of way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where I thought I was way smarter than I actually was. So yeah, I think that's the first song I ever wrote.
Huh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lyrically, I guess, at least.
Honey, don't play dumb. You had my love. You left me lonely for so long. Everything I gained, you turned away. So I moved my love along. Only kiss me under cover of night, then blame the wine 3 times tonight. Still I loved you. It ain't our fault that we had to hide, but over 40 nights, hopeful life, it still don't feel true. when you hold me like someone you never really knew. Honey, don't play dumb. You had my love, and you left me lonely for so long. Everything I gave, you turned away. So I moved my love along. Still you hold me like someone you never really knew. Honey, don't play dumb. You had my love, and you left me lonely for so long. Everything I gave, you turned away. So I moved my love along.
What music projects do you have here in town and are currently working on?
Yeah, so there's F-Town Sound, big band. We have like a full horn section. We do a lot of like kind of funk and sometimes like neo soul type of stuff. Jazz to an extent as well. But anyways, you gotta come see the show. It's a good time. So yeah, there's F-Town Sound. There's the Canaries, right? They're great. They managed to stick alive through the pandemic. It was very good. F-Town did as well. Those are the formal groups, but of course I do things outside of those groups as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You play shows by yourself, right?
Yeah. From time to time, I might be doing one at like a patio, kind of in the plaza where Flag Brew is. Starting the summer, have a few Saturdays booked there, so it should be fun. Yeah, it'll be. I won't be totally by myself. I'll get Cheta in on the pedal steel probably. Yeah, and so do like little duo gigs, things like that.
Yeah, those are fun.
Totally.
Do you have any like releases or anything you guys are planning on like putting out?
So the Canaries are going to go back in the studio.
Oh,
that'll be fun. I've been in the studio working on some solo stuff recently as well, and in other words, yes. Stay tuned this summer, and I think you'll find new releases out from both of us. Yeah.
Awesome. Do you do any other type of art?
Yeah. I recently did like a piece of soundscape art. It's like this 34-minute thing composed of field recordings and some archives of conversations and things like that. I do soundscape art, and that's really fun.
So soundscape art, that's where you just like record like your surroundings type of thing?
To an extent, right? I like to think of it as, how do you say this? Well, let me put it this way. I'm a musician. I love music. But sometimes my love for music leads me to realize that I listen most intently, maybe only when I'm listening to music. And I think that there's a value in sort of retraining ourselves to listen with intent, even in situations that we consider maybe unmusical or mundane to some extent. Walking down a sidewalk, something like that.
Yeah.
So I found that there's this whole body of artists and like documentarians that really are interested in this idea in reinforcing and reconnecting people with their sense of hearing, deep listening, as it's sometimes called. I found a vein of artists like that I really enjoyed, and I tried to create a piece of art that was similar in that respect. So it's not necessarily musical, but it's based a lot on sorry, I'm giving you the thesis now. Yeah, so it can be musical.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I was standing by my window on a cold and cloudy day when I saw that hearse come rolling for to carry my mother away. Oh, will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I said to the undertaker, undertaker, please drive slow, for that lady you are carrying, I hate to see her go. Oh, will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? Where's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky? Oh, will the circle be unbroken by Lord, by and by? There's a better home waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. In the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Well, what inspires you to play music?
What inspires me to play music? Different things. Yeah. Different bands do different things, different songs do different things, different artists do different things. Music can cover a whole range of services to self and others. So engaging in service of self and others, I think is mostly that what inspires me to play music. For example, right? Like, take F-Town, one of the groups I play in. The focus of that band is dance. You know, it's high energy. It's supposed to be about gathering people together so that people can dance in rhythms that are familiar to them and challenging to them, and you know, really just engage in that bodily form of music, right? Dance is healthy. Dance is medicine. Dance is a good thing. That's the primary focus of a lot of the music there, is thinking about dance. Yeah. Other music is more introspective. You know, it's maybe lyrically based, and it's asking people to reflect or hoping to connect to people and offer them catharsis by telling them stories that they're familiar with, or configuring hardship into a song that can still sound beautiful. You know, so there are emotional cathartic services that music play that are more cognitive, maybe less in their body as well. And then the benefit that I feel like a musician, the benefit that I receive from being a musician is that when I can write or perform, there's an element of catharsis that goes there as well. You know, whether you're jumping around the stage like in a dance band, or you're sitting somewhere quietly and just really trying to sing a song, really trying to sing something that means something to you, that can be physically and emotionally cathartic as a performer as well. Mm-hmm. I suppose the short answer, you put that all together, is that music is medicine. And to play music, to perform music, to engage in music in a myriad of ways is a medicinal thing. So that's what inspires me to play music.
Nice. Do you have any favorite artists? Local, not local?
Sure. Well, favorites are hard. I don't know. What day is it? You know, there's lots of people I like out there. I don't know. I don't know if I could assign something like favorite.
Sure.
It just really depends on where I'm at that day. You know.
Who are you listening to right now? Not
mm-hmm.
right now, but like.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Actually, yeah, right now. Like having like some earbuds in the whole time. Let's see. Right now, I've been listening to a lot of Colter Wall. I really enjoyed one of his more recent albums, Western Swingin' Waltzes. I've been listening to a lot of Justin Townes Earle as well. I got really into his album Saint of Lost Causes, and then he passed. I guess just last year. Anyway, so that spurred me really kind of going through some of his back catalog and things like that. So those are two that I've been listening a lot to at the moment. I've also, most recently, the other day I got really stoked in my car listening to Lila Downs. A while ago I found her album La Cantina. It's like from 2006. And anyways, she's got this corrido called La Tequila. I can't say it. La Tequilera, right? Mm-hmm. Tequilera. I think that's how she says it. Shit, I'm gonna make myself look like a damn ass gringo on this fucking interview, right? Anyways, I got into Lila Downs. She's got this one corrido on it that I really, really liked, mm-hmm. And so I was just bumping that in the car. I was just having a blast.
Nice.
Yeah, I listened to that very recently. So this next one's a George Strait tune, and I think it's one of the best breakup songs ever written. Okay. Telephone rang about 9:15. She heard his voice on the other end of the line. She wondered what was wrong this time. She never knew what his calls might bring. A cowboy like him, it could be anything. She always expected the worst at the back of her mind. He said it's cold out here and I'm all alone. I didn't make the short go again, and I'm coming home. I know I've been away too long. I never got the chance to write or call. I know this rodeo's been hard on us all, but I'll be home soon, and honey, is there something wrong? Said don't bother coming home. By the time you get here I'll be long gone. There's somebody new and he sure ain't no rodeo man. He said I'm sorry it's come down to this. There's so much about you that I'm gonna miss. But it's alright babe, if I hurry I can still make Cheyenne. Gotta go now, baby. If I hurry, I can still make Cheyenne. Left that phone hanging on the hood. Slowly turned around and he gave it one last look. Then he just walked away. Turned his truck for that Wyoming line. With a little luck he could still get there in time. And in that Cheyenne wind he would still hear her say, she said, don't bother coming home. By the time you get here I'll be long gone. There's somebody new and he sure ain't no rodeo man. He said, I'm sorry it's come down to this. There's so much about you that I'm gonna miss. But it's alright, babe. If I hurry I can still make Cheyenne. Gotta go now, baby. If I hurry I can still make Cheyenne. Never knew what it calls might bring. A cowboy like him, it could be anything. She always expected the worst in the back of her mind.
Hobbies. Do you have any hobbies? That, like things you just do for fun. That don't really have anything to do with anybody else but you.
I really like to walk my dog. That's really one of my favorite things to do, on sidewalks, on trails, up mountains, down mountains.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. That's definitely one of my favorite things.
Cool.
Actually, there's another.
Yeah.
Yeah. Recently I got into bird watching.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's been great. Totally expansive. Like, when you're walking down the street or something or out in the woods, and you really start like listening for the songs and trying to see who's flying through the trees, all of a sudden the world just becomes really active. And so I really enjoyed the way that bird watching made me so much more attentive in spaces around me.
Yeah, nice.
Like right now, you can kind of hear those little birds out there.
Mm-hmm.
Wondering what they could be. House finches, chipping sparrows, who knows? I'm not good enough I can recognize them by sound yet, but
yeah, you'll get there.
Yeah, one day, hopefully.
In your opinion, what is essential to have in a local music scene?
Well, you gotta have a sense of community and mutual support. Music is an industry, I think, that can get pretty competitive pretty quickly. But that's true of any industries, and more so maybe perhaps in music. Sometimes it feels like the units of people are smaller. Like you're a solo actor, you're a band, or something like that. You're just this like solidated group. But that's a facade. Like the performing side of music is not all there is. There's so much more that goes into making music, organizing shows, creating stages, recording, all that sorts of work is important in the industry of making and disseminating the art of music, right? And so I think that for any good scene, any local scene to be good, there has to be lots of like collaboration and sort of mutual support across things. I think that's how you build a place up and really make the collective talents and resources of people work the best for everybody. So yeah, I think that's probably what I believe is most important in any kind of scene.
Well put. Do you have any favorite shows you played or stories of like traveling to go to shows or something like that?
Yeah, favorite shows. All right. Well, there's a great story from one of F-Town's more recent shows. It was this big blowout we played almost immediately pre-COVID, right? It's like February 29th. And we had this one song we cover called Dollar Diva. And while we were playing it, people in the audience were rolling up $1 bills and just like throwing them on the stage, right? and one of them goes right down my open shirt. Of course, I'm playing, so like, don't even flinch. But someone in the audience saw it go down my open shirt, and later in the set, they call out. They're like, you know, I'm just bantering with the crowd a little bit, and they go, Sean, you know, give me that sweat dollar. So I reach in the shirt, pull out the sweat dollar, and like toss it back to them. They jumped up and grabbed it, and we're just, you know, it was really funny. Yeah, it was fucking hilarious. It was really funny. Yeah, that was a good moment of a show, most recent. Oh, I got a funny story about a show that went really bad, actually. Yeah, and to be fair, I think just as a preface to this story, in hindsight, I recognize my fault in the conflict, and that I think I might have been bringing the wrong energy at the wrong time. That's up for debate, but I can see how someone else maybe saw that and led to this conflict. So that's my preface to this story. Okay. I was like freshly 21. I was in San Diego with my sister. We went to the House of Blues to see Father John Misty. I was stoked. His album Fear Fun had like just come out. I think it was, or relatively recently come out. Maybe his second album was out at the time. Anyways, I was stoked. I really liked his music. I got like a beer at the bar for like one of the first times, freshly 21.
Yeah.
Had my beer, worked my way through the crowd to get like, you know, a relatively good standing position. Huge, like standing room only. And waited for the show to come on. Show comes on. I'm happy. I'm listening. One of my favorite songs come on. And I'm like clapping along, like kind of dancing, like doing the whole thing. I'm getting into it. Frankly, I noticed at the time that I did feel a little bit like the only one who was like really getting into it. A lot of other people were standing still. They're taking videos with their phone, drinking their beers, what have you.
Yeah.
To be fair, he was just doing like a singer-songwriter kind of thing. You know what I mean? So he wasn't backed by a full band. Nonetheless, I was enjoying the music. I was getting into it. At one point, here I am, like just maybe clapping my hands in some song. He stops. Father John Misty stops the show, points me out of the crowd, and goes, You gotta stop clapping your hands. I can't concentrate. I just like my mouth hung open probably for a good 30 seconds. And I was dumbfounded and I was so embarrassed. And like he said it and like some other people in the crowd were like, yeah, like fuck that guy. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. And I was mortified. I was absolutely mortified. Like here I was, you know, like somebody whose music I really, really loved. You know what I mean? Someone I was really looking up to. And he just like slayed me and humiliated me for enjoying his music.
That's interesting.
I was like, I was dumbfounded. Your daddy was mayor, mine a bricklayer. You listened to T Swift at the time. I was into Slayer. I was mowing lawns while you learned to sing. But time's gonna bring us all home. So you went to Nashville and I rolled downhill. I was trimming on a farm outside of Orville when I heard your song over my headphones. Time gonna bring us all home. Time's gonna bring us all home from the many ways we roam. And we will know each other in the end. Ain't it this world's sorrow? It might start tomorrow, but we just wait for time and time again. Yeah, We just wait for time and time again. We just wait for time and time again. We just wait for time and time again. Now you're a big star, I'm playing the small bar. But know that 20 million streams don't go too far. Down a dark dirt road, old crow way, and time's gonna bring us all home. Yeah, time's gonna bring us all home from the many ways we roam, and we will know each other in the end. Ain't it this world's sorrow? Might start tomorrow, but we just wait for time and time again. We just wait for time and time again.
Is there anything that you just want to tell people about yourself that you think people should know? Or, put out into the world?
Is there anything I want to put out to the world? All right, world. This one's for you. Be kind. Make art. Live your life as best you can. All right. That's probably what I would want to say to the world.
Cool. I think we're pretty much done with the interview part of it.
Sure.
You feel good about that?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sure you'll chop it up and make me look good.